General elections 2024 and stock markets. What really is the impact? We have, of course, seen India's volatility index spike. And is this a historical trend? Which sectors should you be looking at ahead of poll results? Well, to decode all of that, we've got market veteran Ambareesh Baliga. Thank you so much for your time. To
Thank you.
begin with, for those sitting at home and saying, okay, which sector should we look at ahead of poll results? What would you say?
No, I will not differentiate between, before the poll results and post the poll results. The longer term aspect, if you look at sectors like automobiles, cement, FMCG, I think these are the sectors to be looked at if you are looking at the India story over the next 4 or 5 years. So, irrespective of the poll, if one has to invest, then these are the sectors to be looked at. But still, I would suggest that wait for the poll results because the volatility is quite high, and the markets can move either ways. Post the results based on, whether it's favorable for the NDA or not. So, I think one should wait for that.
Right, wait for the poll results, you're saying. So wait and watch essentially. But for those sitting at home and really saying that, look, how can we make the most of our portfolio? Is diversification really the name of the game going forward? What would you say?
Yeah, the portfolio always needs to be diversified. Unless you're so bullish on equities that you like to have 95-100% of your portfolio into equities, but that's a risk. So one needs to have possibly about 60% of the portfolio based on your risk appetite in the equity, or 40% in case your risk appetite is not too high. Balance can be debt, it can be gold, it can be real estate in the sense InvITs or REITs. So like the portfolio needs to be diversified so that your risk levels are within control.
Right. Also, economy sensitive stocks really outperforming even before polls really began. So, would you
Right.
suggest that, for those looking at a long term vision, they can continue to look at, say, sectors like real estate, like you said, infrastructure, and so on?
Absolutely, but then at the same time, you should see that most of these stocks have already run up quite a lot. So I think it's better to wait for some cool off. And in case that cool off happens post the election results, should utilize that opportunity.
Right. Now we have, of course, seen gold prices also consistently rise. We have seen demand upbeat, even the World Gold Council really talking about gold demand rising in India and globally. So, what would you suggest to those who are saying that, look, is it time to look beyond equities altogether, regardless of polls?
No, like I said, the portfolio has to be diversified. So typically, one can have about 5% to max of 10% of the portfolio in gold. And at this point of time, after the sort of a run up which you've seen in gold, I would say possibly wait. Don't invest at this point of time, because historically, if you look at the way gold prices have moved, they move quite sharply in a given a period of time, and then they cool off. They move sideways for a decently long time. So I think that time has come where it will possibly start moving sideways, and it's done with that major move right now. So unless you have a very long term view that you want to buy and hold on for 10 years, irrespective of what happens in the next 2 or 3 years, then I suppose one can buy. But then it's better to wait out as far as gold is concerned. Maybe you'll get a good chance in the next year, year and a half. Around the same levels. Till then, possibly equities could give you better returns.
Right. Lastly, for those investors, small investors, investors sitting at home, and of course, viewers tracking this segment, saying that, look, after general elections, we want to make the most of our investments and really get those returns. What is your message to them?
My message would be in case you see a correction post the results, yes, it would be a time to get in. I think at that point of time, even if you see some amount of panic, I think utilize that. And at the same time, in case we see that the markets move up because of extremely favorable results, then I would say at least start investing to a certain extent. Don't go whole hog. Invest partially, because markets will always be volatile even going ahead. So any dips, start investing, because if the election results are very favorable, then clearly the next 5 years visibility will be excellent. So we can expect a good move in the market over the next 4 or 5 years. But then you'll always see those dips. Utilize the dips to buy.
All right. Of course, thank you so much for sharing your insights with our viewers and with all those investors tracking this space and, of course, the poll outcome very, very closely.